Hello guys, this is Yash and we are on session 3 of learning Sui. So basically I was trying to integrate staking pools in an application which I was trying to build on Sui. And for context, like I started learning Sui last week, and when I started doing a lot of research on this topic, like how to make a staking pool in Sui, I was not able to find a lot of resources, like not even proper documentation on Sui or other resources where I can find out how to do this. So I'm doing the stream and I will try to figure out how to do staking pools, because I know like it's quite possible, because Sui has staking, like you can stake Sui tokens to earn rewards. So Sui token is also a normal coin, with as I understand it. So it should be possible to create other staking pools, like so I will try to figure this out today. Basically, when I try to debug, I try to find like my first thought is to like find the documentation itself. If we can find it, that's pretty good. But like I try to look into all the guides they have here, and frankly, like I might have missed it, but I think I have covered this all, and I was not able to find anywhere where the staking is mentioned, or like the documentation for creating staking pool is present. So I think on the Sui documentation itself, it's not present yet. Then I try to find on YouTube. On YouTube, I was also not able to find videos about staking. Like there were plenty of videos present for like how to stake Sui tokens and earn reward. Those kind of videos were present, but to create your own staking pool, I don't think the videos were present on YouTube, or I was not able to find them at least. And then the third thing that I usually do is to find it on GitHub or Stack Overflow. So that's what I'm going to try today. Let's see. The biggest problem with searching about staking is most of the time what you find is how to stake tokens on the official staking pool. So that's most of the time you will find these things. So that's kind of a problem for developers who want to create their own protocols. But I think like this is official Sui GitHub repository. In that they have this file stakingpool.move, and from my understanding, I think this is the official staking pool. Maybe I can try to recreate some of these features from this package. Also, Sui like Move has updated quite a lot in recent months, and I think that might also be a little bit of a problem in understanding the code and trying to implement exactly what this is implementing. And also this is very comprehensive, and I just want to recreate a very small portion of this where a user can stake tokens, and he will get like kind of a title or an NFT or an object, whatever, and he can prove that he has staked let's say 100 tokens in our protocol. And basically in future what I also want to do is, if he does something wrong, then some of the tokens will be slashed. So maybe he will get 30% less token backs when he will unstake the tokens. And there should be a function to unstake tokens here. So these are the few things that I want to create in the staking pool, which I am planning to create now. Yeah, so there is also another problem which I was thinking about in creating the staking pool. How do we differentiate one coin from other? Like, do we create the coins also in the same contract so that we know their types, or do we create them in another contract? Then how do we know that this whatever coin the user is presenting is not some other coin which we want? So that was one other problem. This one I don't think would be of a lot of help to me. Like this is too comprehensive. Like it has request add stake function, which I don't know what it does, but I just want a stake function. That's it. Maybe I can try to find it out. Usually, sometimes what also helps is to just search GitHub and then whatever you are trying to build, because most of the times people have already built something like that. So it's taking polls, not polls, and so he's taking polls. Okay, Meta is taking pool on Sui. Let's see what this does. Submission for the Sui Liquid staking hackathon enclosed in this repository are the contract for an innovative prototype. At the heart of our project in the user-friendly interface of MetaPools designed to streamline the Sui token staking process, enthusiasts can easily connect their preferred Sui wallet to MetaPool and seamlessly stake any desired amount of Sui tokens. Upon staking, the smart contract mints a special token termed MP Sui. This token is more than just a digital asset. It signifies the user's share in the overall staked asset. As such, the value of MP Sui naturally increases relative to the original Sui token and the reward reaped by validators. Our ultimate vision is to disseminate all staked Sui among a diverse array of validators, employing the Nakamoto coefficient as the guiding principle. This method underscores our commitment to fortifying the decentralization of the Sui network. Okay. I mean, this is a completely different use case to what I was thinking about, but might be this code base can give me hints on how to implement my particular use case. So let me just clone it. Let me get the, okay. So basically I usually use the SSH GitHub commands, which is this, I think. Cloning this. Okay. Probably I'm writing something wrong. Okay. Oh, I missed a semicolon here. A colon here. Yeah. Okay. So on initialization, we pass a witness. So basically, if you don't know what witnesses are in Sui, so when you try to create this init function, the goal of the init function is just to be like called once on the creation of the contract. So the init function is not a public function, like it's not marked with a public identifier, and also we pass in one witness struct in the init. Like the witness struct is of a type which is if you capitalize all the character of the contract name, that should be the struct's name, and it should be a droppable struct without any data inside. So it is just a boolean, like it cannot be used anywhere else. This struct, it can only be created once, and this init function can only be called once. So that's how we signify this witness variable. And from my understanding, I think only two parameters can be passed in the init function, which is the witness variable and the context thing. But there might be other way to pass more variables into it, like the constructor parameters. but I'm not yet sure about that. Okay, so in this case it is creating a currency, which is good, like we want to do that. And then it is creating a staking pool, which is a shared object in this case. So if you don't know, like in Sui there are different kind of objects, like there are shared objects and there are owned objects. So owned object is only accessed by a particular wallet, so they can submit the object in a transaction and the transaction will do something with the object and then return it back to the user or send it somewhere else. But a shared object, like anyone can do transactions with the shared object, and it is not owned by any particular address. It's creating a stake pool, which is having a new ID, a treasury, and the treasury. Okay, so basically whenever we create a coin, we usually get these two things back, which is the metadata of the coin and the treasury cap. So the treasury cap is like whoever has the treasury capacity, or like whoever can control the supply of this token is like the user who has this treasury. So in this case, I think the shared object is owning the treasury. So the shared object, the staking pool, can mint new tokens, but no one else can mint. Like this is good to know that the staking pool itself can own the treasury. Like I didn't knew about this before. And then this is also good, like we want to do this particular thing also, like minimum deposit amount. So let's say a user can deposit only 10 tokens, the minimum amount of token is 10, that we want to do. Yeah, and the staking pool also has a balance in terms of Sui. We don't want to use Sui in our project, we want to use some other token, some other custom token, so we want to build a token for this. And then there is we are transferring the metadata to public. Okay, so then there is another, which is like a frozen object. Metadata in general, according to my understanding, can be changed. Its initial values are written over here, like the title of the token and the symbol of the token, I think, are these two values, and these are written in the metadata. And this contract, which is creating the coin, will be able to change the metadata as per my understanding. But if we are doing a public freeze object, no one will be able to change anything on the metadata. Then there is the deposit function, which okay, this contract is good. Like I think I will be able to create something after understanding this contract. So we are transferring the pool object, this staking pool object, in this function, and it is taking a mutable reference of this. So the values, the properties of this staking pool will be mutated in this function, and then we are taking the assets of the user. So, and like this is not a reference, we are taking the object itself. So the upper one, the staking pool, was a reference, but this is taking the object itself. So it is like taking the coins from the user into the deposit function, and then it is calling a internal function, internal deposit. Okay, I might be wrong, but I think it should not be public. Like this contract is marking this internal deposit function also as public, but I need to check it out, like how this internal and external functions work in Sui. And what we are doing is depositing the assets into the pool with this context, and we are calculating the share of the user. And according to my understanding, the share should be in terms of the new token which we are creating, and then we are transferring these new tokens to the center of this transaction. Then there is redeem function, in which we are transferring the shares as this new coin. Okay, now things make a little more sense to me, I think. Okay, we are passing in this witness. Okay, so this witness is acting as a type itself. Okay, that's how I think we segregate one token from other. We know that this token is different from the other token by using the witness itself, the witness type itself. Okay, and then what we are doing is transferring the token to the assets to the user back. And let's see the internal deposit implementation. We are getting the balance of the tokens which the user sent. So if you don't know, in Sui the coins or tokens work a little different than other EVMs or other blockchain. Usually in other blockchain they have like a ledger based system where on one central contract you know the balances of each address. But on Sui it's a little different, like each address is holding their coins in a bundle. So it's kind of like this assets object is a bundle of value, and that value we are checking how much this bundle is valued by using coin value function and getting that value in UN64. And then we are checking if the minimum deposit requirement is met or not, else we are throwing a error with the error code of 0. And I think we can create just constants with UN64 to create the error codes. Okay, and calculating the shares. So we are checking the previous deposit of the pool using this. Okay, okay, coin dot from balance, minted balance, and context. Yeah, I still need to learn a lot in Sui. But what is this returning? Okay, so if we take the pool object and pass in the number of tokens, the value of the token that user is passing, we will get the amount of shares the user should receive using this preview deposit function, which is again an internal function, I assume. And then we are transferring the coins to the Sui pool from this assets bundle. So in this case, I think the assets, the value of this bundle will be transferred to the balance of the pool, and then we are increasing the supply of the newly created coins. So coin dot supply mutable pool treasury. As pool has the treasury cap of the newly created token, we are taking that and increasing the supply of the token by the amount of share the user should receive, and the newly created balance will be transferred to the context. No, sorry, not to the context. So we are taking the coins from this new balance. So we are like extracting the like we are creating a bundle with this value. The value is the minted balance, and we are creating a new bundle of coins with this value and returning it to the caller of this function, in this case which is the deposit function. So the deposit function is now having these newly created coins, and then it is transferring to the sender of this transaction. And then there is internal redeem, which is taking the pool, the newly created shares tokens, which is the token created by this contract, and the context of the transaction. Then it is again doing the preview redeem. Okay, so this is a different function, preview redeem. Now internal convert. Okay, and I think this is also UN64. So it is giving the value of the tokens that the user should receive, and then we are decreasing the supply by the amount of shares the user has transferred to this function. And Sui coin take. We are taking the value from the Sui pool, from the stake pool, and we are taking this much value, which is represented in the assets variable, and then creating a new asset bundle, which is a new coin, and transferring this new coin back to the user. Okay, now these are the internal functions. Okay, now I understand why they are making them public, because anyone will be able to call these and find out the value and stuff. Like these are read-only functions, so that's why these are public. But then these are the internal functions which are not marked public. Okay. Hmm. Now we have this internal convert to pool, convert to asset. Okay, it is taking the pool, the amount of shares the user has. Now let's first check this internal convert to shares. Okay, it is taking the pool, the amount of assets the user is transferring, and seeing if we want to round up this figure or not. Then it is taking the total supply of the pool, checking if the assets count is 0 or the total supply is 0. Okay. In both the cases, the newly created shares will be 0 as well. No, I don't properly understand the logic behind this. Okay, so now I understand it. I think initially, if the pool is empty and you deposit, let's say 10 Sui tokens, then this condition will trigger. Total supply is 0, and the amount of shares will be issued against you will also be equal to the amount of asset that you transferred. Else it will do this proportion function. So the proportion is taking the amount of tokens we want to transfer, then the total supply as the multiplier. So let's say we want to transfer 10 tokens and the total supply is 20 already, and okay, what is this total supply function first of all returning? Okay, it is returning the total supply of the newly created token, and then it is checking the total assets, which is getting the balance of the Sui tokens that the contract holds. And then there is a roundup thing. Okay, so let's say the contract has 20 tokens as the total supply and 20 Sui tokens as the total assets, and let's assume a user is depositing another 10 tokens. Then it is multiplying this 10 by 20 and then dividing it by the divisor, which is the total amount of assets. Okay, so this is the proportion, which is the total supply divided by total asset. We are multiplying this by the newly deposited assets. Got it. So now I understand this. Okay, and this was very helpful. But now the only remaining thing is, how do we use a different token than Sui as the deposit asset? So if you want to use a custom token which is not present in this contract, how do we use it? Is there a way to use that? So I want to figure that out. Or maybe this is a little simpler way to do this, which is to create the liquidity, not the liquidity, the staking pool with the Sui token. But is there a way to create our custom token in this? And how do we importing this? We are importing this from Sui itself. Let's see, if I create a new contract, which is token.move, and take this set token, and let me create the public struct, capitalize the name of the contract to create a witness, and it must only have drop. I think this probably should not be there, or was it there? No, it was not there. Okay, and let's do the initialize function, so which is the fun init, and it is taking a witness which is of type token, and also the context ctx, which is a transaction context, think it should create the new token with treasury and metadata equal to coin. Here we want to import these things. And we are creating a currency. Now let's just copy this. Let me rename this to C token, custom token, and we want to import this options. So what's the error with this? Okay, I don't know what that error is. I'll try to figure that out later. Okay, and let's do a transfer to a public phrase object of metadata. You want to import this transfer, which is from Sui transfer. And we also want the TX context, which is from Sui TX context. Okay. Now what's the problem with this? Argument of type parameters. Okay, I think it should be mutable TX context. Yeah, it should be a mutable reference to TX context. Yeah, now we want to transfer this treasury to somewhere. For now, let me just transfer it to the creator of, or the center of this transaction, or the initial creator of the contract, because this is a init function. So if we do a public transfer, the treasury to the how do we calculate the, okay, so we have TX context, center context. Okay, now if we do public, no, we don't need any other function. I just want to find out if we can use this token object in here. Let me open another IDE which is more suited to Rust and Sui. So this is Rust Rover, by the way. Open, and where is this project? Lennon. Sui. It's taking this one. Okay. Just a minute, let me install Move plugin. Where is the settings? Plugins, Move. Let me search Sui. Yeah, I think this should be it. Or is it not? Let's try to install this and see what happens. Okay, it is a little better, I think. What's the problem with this? Struct defined must be public. Okay, let's remove these, not required right now. And if we go to this, let's make it public. Make token. Okay, so it imported it from the meta pool token token. So I guess we can use this like tokens from other, like from the same package but from a different module. Interesting. Now I also want to find how can we slash the user office tokens. But I think for now this is good. Thank you guys for listening in.